The 14th of June, 2026. The South Lawn of the White House, Washington, D.C. The 250th anniversary of the United States, President Trump's 80th birthday. And the main event of the evening, a fight to determine the undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world. UFC Freedom 250. The most expensive event in the history of the company, $60 million. 85,000 free tickets handed out to fans. And two fighters who will decide who truly rules the lightweight division. Ilia Topuria, undefeated, dangerous, returning after a full year away. Justin Gaethje, a veteran, a lion's heart, his last real shot. This is not just a title fight. This is a collision of generations. First, the scale of this event, because it matters. The UFC has never done anything like this. The South Lawn of the White House, not an arena, not a stadium. The lawn in front of the residence of the most powerful man on the planet. Dana White personally met with Trump to organize the logistics. The UFC will spend $700,000 just to restore the lawn after the event. Expected losses of $30 million, but the goal is not profit. The goal is history. And at the center of that history, Topuria versus Gaethje. Now let's talk about Gaethje. 37 years old, 18 years in mixed martial arts. He has fought for the undisputed title twice and lost both times. Khabib choked him out in round 2 in 2020. Oliveira stopped him in round 1 in 2022. But he never stopped. Gaethje beat Rafael Fiziev twice, knocked out Dustin Poirier with a head kick. And then in January 2026 at UFC 324-5 brutal rounds with Paddy Pimblett. Unanimous decision, interim championship. His third and likely final shot at undisputed UFC gold. And even Paddy Pimblett, the man Gaethje just beat, said publicly, Justin can pull the upset and hand Topuria the first loss of his career. That is coming from someone who knows better than anyone what it feels like to be in there with Gaethje. Why is Gaethje dangerous? He pressures. He never stops coming. He kicks harder than anyone in the division. His low kicks have destroyed the movement of dozens of opponents. And he still carries that one-punch power, the same head kick that put Dustin Poirier to sleep in 2023. The bookmakers give him plus 350. Polymarket gives him a 12% chance of winning. But Gaethje has won his last 3 fights as an underdog. The statistics are against him, but statistics don't fight, people do. Now Topuria, 17-0. No losses, never stopped in the UFC except for one moment against Herbert in 2022, from which he came back and knocked his opponent out cold. Holloway, Volkanovski, Oliveira. 3 legends, 3 knockouts, across multiple weight classes. He returns after a 1-2-month absence due to personal matters. A full year without fighting. The question is simple, did he keep his edge? But look at the numbers. Strike accuracy of 75% against Oliveira. 78 strikes landed on Holloway before the finish. He does not just punch, he picks his moment and punches with purpose. And here is the problem for Gaethje. Topuria is a counterpuncher. He waits for his opponent to come forward. And Gaethje always comes forward. Always. That is exactly the style Topuria loves more than any other. Analysts are clear about this. Gaethje throws 6.5 significant strikes per minute. Topuria throws 4.8, but Topuria does not miss. And every single one of his punches carries knockout danger. So what happens inside the cage? Gaethje has one realistic plan pressure from the opening bell. Low kicks to break Topuria's stance. Forward movement to take away the distance. If he can force Topuria to back up and react, this is his fight. But here is where that plan breaks down. Topuria fights from a wide boxing stance, which theoretically makes his lead leg a target. But he is lightning fast at countering off-caught kicks. That same overhand right that knocked out Volkanovski is waiting every single time Gaethje throws a leg kick without a setup. And there is one more factor nobody is talking about enough. Gaethje spent 5 brutal rounds with Pimblett in January. Topuria has been resting for a year. Physically, Topuria enters this fight fresher than his opponent. The most dangerous moment for Topuria is round 1. If Gaethje finds that one shot early, anything is possible. He has knocked people out before. He will do it again if he finds the chin. But if Topuria survives, the early pressure, round 3 becomes the verdict. That is where he typically finds his moment. That is where Gaethje starts to open up. The prediction. Round 1, Gaethje pressures, low kicks, tries to drag the fight into chaos. Topuria moves, waits, refuses to get pulled into an open exchange. Rounds 2 and 3, Topuria finds his rhythm. Gaethje opens up more and more. One moment, one punch. My prediction, Topuria. Knockout in round 2 or 3. Not because Gaethje cannot win. He can. But 17-0 is not an accident, and the White House is not the place where that record ends. Gaethje walks onto the south lawn of the White House with the last real chance of his career. 37 years old. 3 attempts, now or never. Topuria walks in undefeated with knockout power that no one has ever managed to stop. Someone's life changes on June 14th. The only question is, does Gaethje have one more miracle left in him? Fight Unity. Subscribe to the channel. You can support us on Ko-fi or with crypto link in the description and pinned comment. Every bit of support helps us make more content like this. Thanks for being here.